CNBC declared accounting as the #1 in-demand remote work job in 2024 simply because of the work-life balance, career trajectory to make $100,000 in 2 to 5 years, being safe from AI, and even in a tough job market, it's still super easy to get hired because there's a shortage of accountants. Today, we're interviewing Lukas, a fractional CFO accountant who changed careers after starting in the fitness industry. Lukas explains exactly how to get your first job in accounting without any previous experience or college degree. Best of all, this job can be done virtually from anywhere or as a second job at night. This interview is going to be especially useful for anyone looking to start their career in bookkeeping. Let's get into this interview with Lukas, who's going to share all the details. And at the end, he's going to tell you the exact steps to start your career in accounting today. Could you give us some background on your current accounting job and how long you've been working in the industry?
Yes. So I currently work as a fractional CFO. Basically, that is just what it sounds like. You work as a CFO for companies that need help with strategic planning, forecasting, all that kind of thing, all those tasks that you would think from a CFO, but don't have the funds or the need for somebody to be there full time. So basically, just like it sounds, fractional work, you work for multiple clients a few hours at a time to handle all the needs of the CFO. That way they don't have to have somebody on staff with that salary level, and they may not need that. There may not be roles for you or things for you to do in that basis. So I've been doing this for a little while now. For me, I got my start in accounting after switching careers. So I originally started off as a personal trainer, got my original degree in kinesiology, which is the scientific study of human movement. So basically what that is you can use that for multiple things. Some people go on to physical therapy school. And for me, I went on to become a personal trainer, worked at some gyms, got some great experience. And from there, the hours were not so great. So I was working early mornings, late evenings, and I'm like, okay, this is okay now, but down the road, I want to do something different. A friend connected me with an investment company, and I was in Kansas City at the time. I worked for them, got some experience and exposure for not only accounting and finance, but really got to see how that all worked. And I was intrigued by it. And I had always enjoyed math growing up. So I was like, yeah, let's do this. So basically, I kind of slowly transitioned training, accounting work, and then moved to, after a few years, working full-time in accounting roles.
Oh, love that. And so you kind of mentioned it here, but what was the thing that really made you decide to become an accountant? Like, what did you see there that, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and go in that direction?
Yes. So for me, I saw it as a steady career that you can go different paths with it, but it's a stable career. You can do a lot of different things with accounting. I enjoyed the numbers perspective, and you can work by yourself or join obviously large corporations, maybe move up to like senior level positions, but it just gives you a lot of flexibility and growth potential. So for me, that was intriguing. And then obviously I've always enjoyed numbers, and in a way it's almost like, especially when you get started, you're solving puzzles. So like, where do these transactions go? That kind of thing. And then as you go further and further, you start to take those like pieces that you did when you're doing like bookkeeping, let's say, and you're trying to build that out. Okay, like based on these past transactions, what's going to be going on for this company 6 months, 12 months, that kind of thing.
Love it. Okay, awesome. And now, Lukas, there's a lot of misconceptions about accounting and what it's like to be an actual accountant. Can you tell me some of the benefits that you actually noticed while being an accountant yourself and why it's a great career to start?
There's all these misconceptions that all the accountants are introverts. Yes, there's definitely some introverts in the industry, but there's also some people that are like very outgoing. It doesn't really matter. If you like dealing with people face to face, you can set your clients up that way. Or if you want to be more just like work remote, you can. There's a lot of flexibility, and that's what I loved about it. You can do so many different things with it and go like build your own practice or work at public accounting or join other firms and just kind of go that route. So it gives you a lot of flexibility to grow and learn from others.
So there are people here, they're going to be interested in accounting, right? But they also want to have a career trajectory of making over 100K a year, maybe within 1 to 5 years. Which entry-level position would you actually recommend? And could you tell us why?
So for me, I feel like bookkeeping is a great way to get into the industry. You can learn a lot of things about the fundamentals of business, like with the transactions flowing through. It gives you a lot of flexibility because you can continue to do like bookkeeping on your own. You could grow your own practice. And then you could get to a point where if you're large enough, you could even hire people on to work for your firm to offer bookkeeping. And then what it allows you to do is like, once you get that basic knowledge of bookkeeping, you can grow, whether you work for another firm or start your own firm. And within a few years, if you get enough the clients built out and get like different packages that you can offer them, you can make it over the $100,000 mark.
Love that. That seems pretty straightforward for sure. And now you mentioned earlier some misconceptions like, hey, you got to be an introvert, or most people are, but that's not true. Who else is a good fit for a career in bookkeeping?
So basically for bookkeeping, the thing that you have to be very detail oriented. So if you're a detail oriented person, it doesn't really matter your demeanor, if you're an introvert, extrovert, but if you're detail oriented, you like solving puzzles, putting pieces together. And then at the end of the day, it's very tangible. Once like a month, let's say like the month end close process for clients, you go through all the transactions, you start running reports and just seeing like if anything's out of balance. And so as you're going through that, like you can see what you've done as a bookkeeper, and you can look from like once you've finished everything, review the income statement, the balance sheet, statement of cash flows, and you can see how your work flows through to the financial statements. And so as you grow in your career, that makes you, obviously you can do the bookkeeping, but as you get more knowledge, then you can start talking to clients about, hey, these are, start noticing trends. So you go from just coding transactions to bookkeeping when you're getting started and learning about everything to a level where you can start like analyzing trends, start talking to business owners. Hey, I noticed this vendor started charging us $1,000 more a month. You start having those kind of conversations. So as you progress and get more bookkeeping underneath your doing it more longer and longer, you'll have more of that higher level knowledge that you can share with clients, owners, and it just makes you more valuable.
Yeah, it definitely does. Now, since we're going down the whole of bookkeeping, do you need an actual degree to land a job as a bookkeeper?
No, you do not. So that's the one great thing about bookkeeping. There's different courses you could take, like CourseCareers is a great option to build that fundamental knowledge for bookkeeping, but you do not need a degree to get started. So you can take like a course. Another thing I would recommend, in addition to doing some coursework, is find another bookkeeper and do some like work for them as an apprentice. So you could take the coursework, build your skill set, work with them as an apprentice, or even, I mean, hopefully they'll find a way to pay you, but then through the coursework and working in like the apprenticeship, you can build your skill set, get live examples of what's going on, like what they're working on. And then from there, you can build your skill set up, continue working for that person. Or from that point, you can be like, hey, I can go do this and find my own clients and kind of go that route. So it's just good. Don't need to get a degree. You can learn so many things from CourseCareers, people that are in the industry. And then obviously once you get going, there's so many different free tools online that you can utilize. So that's, especially with QuickBooks is a very popular software through YouTube and other things like that. There's free resources where you can learn and leverage the internet.
That makes perfect sense there. Now, outside of what you just said, what does someone need to land their first bookkeeping job?
Yeah. So for me, I feel like one thing that's helpful is you like leveraging LinkedIn, talking to people. Maybe you can join like a networking group in your local city that you're in, especially if you want to have like that face-to-face interaction. If that doesn't work, you can always do like online networking. But the biggest thing is just putting yourself out there through LinkedIn, other mediums, start talking to business owners. Maybe like in your friend network, they have some people that own their own business, or you can talk to other entrepreneurs like, hey, I'll do your bookkeeping and help you go from there. And especially if somebody's just starting a business, to be like, yeah, I can use a lot of help with the bookkeeping. So jump right in and we'll get started. It's a good way. You can work from the ground up with somebody as the bookkeeper, and then maybe as they grow, then you move up with them. So then they have to hire staff. So then you're like the accounting manager and you can go that route as well.
Oh, that's perfect. Great advice there. I mean, I'm sure everyone knows someone who's starting a business or just started or has one that could use those services. So that's an awesome place to start there. And with that, as far as, entry level, just starting out, how much can someone make in their first job as a bookkeeper?
So you can make pretty decent money. So I feel like I've come across client or people that I've talked with, and like they have different clients, but you could start off and $40,000, $50,000. You can make more. It kind of depends on the capability of like landing different clients, if that's what you want to do, especially as like a solo practitioner, getting different clients, building out your packaging and pricing. But you can start out making 40,000, 50,000, I feel like pretty easily. Obviously, it kind of depends on the market and where you live, but I feel like that's a pretty reasonable number to shoot for. And then you can just continue to grow from there as you build up your skill set. The other thing that's helpful in addition to like the bookkeeping skills is just, and everybody's in sales, even if they don't think they are in some capacity. If you interview for a job, you're doing a sales pitch at that point. So anything you can do to not only expand your bookkeeping skills, but then just your sales skills, your the way you communicate with people, your interpersonal skills, that will be helpful as well. So obviously work on your bookkeeping from the technical aspect, but also work on your public speaking skills. That will help you when you interviewing potential clients and then be like, okay, this is somebody I really want to work with and I can trust with my financial data.
Yeah. Oh, great stuff there. And so, Lukas, you mentioned earlier, hey, CourseCareers is a viable way to get those skills, or at least most of them, right? To be able to get your first role. You're actually a coach with CourseCareers. Why did you choose to become a coach with CourseCareers and the accounting course?
Yes, it's a great question. So for me, I love accounting. I've been in the industry now for a little, coming up on like basically 12, 13 years. And for me, I'm looking at wanting to transition to, I want to continue to grow in my career, but I also want to give back. So I feel like where I'm at now in my career, I've got some experience and knowledge, things I've learned along the way that I want to share with others. So I feel like it's a great time to become a coach. Maybe for somebody that wants to start off with bookkeeping, but then ultimately wants to become a fractional CFO, I can make that starting to end point occur quicker. So I can tell them different things that will leverage, like how do you get from a bookkeeper starting out to working as a fractional person with accounting and finance, different functions or different services you can offer. So again, I just want to impart my knowledge and help future accountants grow their career and grow it faster.
Yeah, I mean, and it makes perfect sense, for someone to be able to come to someone like yourself, Lukas, who has 12, 13 years of experience and basically collapse timeframes, right? The things that you've learned over time to be able to do that, I can get that information almost instantly just by speaking with you and learning from you. So that's awesome there. And how does someone actually get access to you for additional support?
So from CourseCareers, from the website, you can look up the different coaches, whatever you're looking to study. Obviously, for me, it's accounting. And we have our calendar links, so you can set up a time. We have obviously like some paid coaching that we offer, but if you just want a quick 10 to 15 minute discussion to like, hey, how do I get started? Like a lot of coaches, myself included, offer that as like a free service, like a quick conversation. And then if it makes sense, we can expand further to paid coaching. But the biggest thing is, just there to help from the CourseCareers website. Go there, find the calendar link, and we can start the discussion.
Awesome. Yeah. And really quick, Lukas, what does the entire CourseCareers accounting course teach? Like, could you go over some of those things?
Yeah, so it's a really good course. It gives you a good background in all the different aspects of accounting, especially services that a lot of people and clients need. So there's obviously the coursework on bookkeeping, general accounting, in terms of like how to go through like the financial statements, the balance sheet, income statement, statement of cash flows, kind of a historical background on accounting itself, but then also like the tax piece. So I know that's an important thing. A lot of people want to go like the tax route, which is a great thing, especially if you pair bookkeeping and tax services or find somebody else that, hey, they offer tax work. I don't really want to do that, but I want to do the bookkeeping. So you can go that route. So yeah, there's the background on bookkeeping, taxation, overall accounting, and just different career paths within accounting.
Would you say, I mean, based on what you've seen that's inside of the course and how it's run, would you say that students who graduate from CourseCareers are more prepared for the new entry-level position, even more so than someone with a degree?
Yeah, so for me, I feel like the degree is great if you have that. Obviously, like I'm still a proponent of education because I've gone back to school for an accounting degree following my kinesiology degree. But you don't necessarily have to have that degree to get going. The one thing is, I feel like the biggest thing is to help you get going is the technical skills. So obviously accounting degree is great and that gives you like a great depth of knowledge, but it doesn't necessarily give you the technical skills that you need day one. So that's like a thing like CourseCareers. It gives you the technical skills like, hey, this is like on the job, like this is what you'd be doing. And so you can get up to speed quicker. And you're also part of this network through CourseCareers where you can leverage other people that have been in the program, other coaches. And from that, you can kind of leverage their network as well. So they could be like, hey, I'm looking for a job. I live in Tennessee, let's say. And then they could be like, talk to a couple coaches. A couple coaches know somebody through LinkedIn or some other way, and they can get them connected. So the degree is great. But again, you can do a lot of things without the degree starting out.
That makes perfect sense, Lukas. So, I mean, with what you get inside of the course, do you believe that someone will be able to get hired after they complete it?
Yes, I do. I feel like it's a great fundamental knowledge base. It gives you some like technical skills like they could do day one on the job. Plus the other thing that it goes through, and obviously there's some colleges that offer some coaching on interviewing and whatnot, but a lot of that's like separate through maybe their whatever college the person's in. They have to go to like, hey, we have these interview days. But that's something that the course touches on in addition to the fundamental knowledge. You go through like how to leverage LinkedIn, some interviewing tips, things to put in your resume, and it just makes it that much easier as you're starting to look for job roles.
So then if someone wants to learn more about the course and a career in accounting, like what do they do next?
Yes. So I would say I would definitely check out the CourseCareers website. You can read through the course there. There's some other great websites as well. So if you just want to like general accounting knowledge outside of what the CourseCareers offers and then like the coaching itself, you can look at two governing bodies that I feel like have a great deal of knowledge are the Institute of Management Accountants. And then there's also the AICPA, and that's the group that puts out the CPA exam and that designation, that license. So those two are great. In addition to that, for me, I've leveraged the Big Four. So those are, if you hear the term Big Four, all that means is it's currently the biggest four accounting firms in the world. So yeah, PwC, Ernst & Young, KPMG, and I think that's, so yeah, KPMG, PwC, Ernst & Young, and then Deloitte. So those are the Big Four. They have a lot of information on those websites as well. So you can get general accounting knowledge. Some obviously firms hire people, so you could kind of do a research thing through that and just go through those websites, kind of take a deeper dive into that. They have resources that will help you as well.
Oh, man. Thank you so much, Lukas. I mean, do you have any last words for anyone or anything like that before we hop off?
Yeah. So for me, if you're just starting out, just do a lot of research. Honestly, you'd be amazed. I would highly recommend leveraging LinkedIn. I've said it at different times, wherever I'm at. As long as you approach it as like, hey, I'm just starting out, asking for advice. And if you jump to somebody and be like, hey, I need a job, well, that's going to be, they're going to be like, okay, I'm going to brush that person off. But if you approach somebody that's in a field that you want to work in, like, or a level of accounting that you want to get to, hey, like can I get some general advice? Start from there. Maybe they could give you a little bit of information. Maybe from there, like if you talk a few times back and forth, maybe it makes sense that they would do like a quick Zoom call to talk further. But if you approach it as like, hey, I'm just starting out, I'm eager to learn. Most people I feel like that I've talked with on LinkedIn and interacted with, they're definitely willing to help other people, especially if they're in their same industry. So leverage LinkedIn, join a networking group. You don't have to join one that's like a paid one. You can, but just find a group that you can network with. And whether it's in person in whatever city you're in or find one online, there's so many different resources and options out there. Just even talk to your friends that maybe you know a friend from high school that like, hey, they do accounting. Talk to them and just go with the networking route would be a huge benefit.
Man, those are great suggestions, Lukas, and thank you so much for that. If you all want to land an entry-level accounting job like bookkeeping and you don't have any previous experience or degree, I highly suggest going through CourseCareers. They have a free intro course to accounting. Just like we spoke about today, I've also included the link down below in the description that's going to teach you everything about what working in accounting is like and how the course works. Also, well, remember, Lukas, the guy that we're talking to today, with all this experience, the fractional CFO, he's also one of the coaches. So If you liked what he said today and you feel like he could help you get to where you're looking to go in this space, his links will be down below as well. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Also, if you want more info on accounting, I've linked to another great video as well. I'll see you in the next one.